Well, we just watched and just listened to Karen Devine. Boy, another great leader of the industry that we got a chance to talk to. And of course, Bruce, you mentioned you haven't been cruising, but I hope after listening to Karen that you feel like you need to do a couple trips.
I'm ready to book it right now. Get her back on the phone. I want to use her employee code.
Well, now you have her as a contact. Let me tell you, she has a passion for cruising, all kinds of type of cruising, and yet she really brought to the surface here of what really was going on with the cruise line and the media's, part of taking it out of context. Of course, the cruise industry is so small, and yet she has a big voice pertaining to what was really going on.
Man, listen, I didn't realize what was going on in that industry, and I'm so glad that she brought everything to light. Like one of the strongest points that she made was that the industry wasn't responding proactively during COVID. It was like all of this stuff is happening, and everybody response is, "We're working on it. We're working on it." So I'm like, well, that doesn't help us at all. We need some answers. We need some results. And the fact that she was able to take the lead and grab the bull by the horns and make the moves that she needed to make to keep all of us afloat. That was incredible. That was
Yeah,
incredible.
anything that floats. I love that when she said that. But you're right. She was full of wisdom, full of information, and she shared her products. The products that are coming on board. She talked about vaccines. I love this because she said vaccines on land, you don't know who has the vaccine or not, but on cruises, who has it because they can't get on without it.
That's right.
A friend of mine just said that they're going to be going cruising, but her husband won't get a vaccine, so he can't go. So, if anywhere that was safe was on a cruise during all
Oh
of
yeah.
this,
I guess
who'd
her
believe
husband's gonna
that?
be on a lifeboat.
Yeah, I mean, totally the opposite of what the media and coming from the media, shame on them for making that really difficult for the cruise industry. I'm just like you. I'm just so glad she brought light to the fact that hey, one of the safest places to be during COVID was on a cruise, and I know a lot of people got stuck out there and at first, but we all got stuck somewhere at the beginning of this whole thing. But once it got under control, boy, I would have rather been on a cruise.
Yeah, especially if all the AV is included. You don't have anything to worry about.
Having their meeting and AVs included, the restaurants are there, all the gaming and everything. I mean, what a dream for a meeting and event professional, just letting your attendees go and enjoy themselves for a few days and you're done with your job.
Do you remember those days? You'll present a client with the AV bill, and they want all the AV in the world until they see that bill, and then the AV just goes out the window.
He does. It's not cheap. Let me tell you, it is not cheap. But yeah, I thought the meeting side of it. I hope that we can see more meetings and events on cruise lines. I think participants or attendees, audiences, they're looking for something new and different. And
Absolutely.
putting them on a cruise, I mean, you can make your job so much easier as a meeting and event professional. It's just kind of like a one-stop shop and just let them all go, as we mentioned. But and now that it's one of the safest places to be, that makes sense to me.
It's definitely safer than a plane, that's for sure. You don't have to worry about.
Well, you got to probably take a plane to get there, no doubt. But because especially for me, being in Arizona, I'd have to go way over to Florida probably most of the time. But she did enlighten us, and her motto is adding value, not layer. And what she meant by that and how to apply it made a lot of sense. And I commend her because the cruise lines were totally singled out. through all this, and they got hit, by pretty much the turbulence of COVID, and yet everybody, was told to avoid cruises, which was just not the case. And if anything, I got out of this, it's just that the ships have this high controlled environment now, that if anybody that had a meeting or event, or if they just went on for a vacation, they're going to be well taken care of. So there's nothing anybody should be afraid of right now, starting today, by cruising. And I think everybody should be booking that for their next, especially vacation.
Absolutely. Listen,
and you too?
Yeah, I'm ready. Actually, I'm thinking about getting married on a cruise ship, just doing like a cruise ship wedding, or
that would be
can't go
nice. Now
wrong.
you can call Karen and she'll arrange it for you, and everything's all taken care of. They do have chapels on cruise lines, right?
Yeah. So
And you don't even have to do that. You can do it outside over the ocean. How cool would that be?
That's it. And just send the doves flying in the air.
Yeah. They're out there that far. You are engaged, right?
Yeah, I'm engaged. So the wedding's gonna be next year. So why not do it on a cruise?
Call Karen and talk to her about that. I don't know if you already have a place yet or not, but I'll come as your guest. And I'm sure Karen would too, no doubt. But is there anything special that she mentioned that you that gravitated to you, other than what we've just already mentioned here?
The most important thing to me was like you said, how they were being portrayed in the media. Cruise ships was like, even though hotels were starting to open back up, like cruise ships, I felt like was a little bit more regulated when it came to getting things going again. And if I'm not mistaken, at least in the U.S., I think Florida was one of the first ones that actually started letting the boats go back out. But the fact that she had to endure all of that, blindfolded, because you have no direction whatsoever,
Right.
and she was able to maneuver fairly quickly. That right there, just that's a sad story to tell.
Yeah.
But it was very motivating. Very motivating.
Yeah. Especially when she had no voice until, being on the show, she's able to tell her story, her side of the story, to defend the cruise line. We feel very honored to have her share that, because my goodness, she could have talked for hours on this. And I'm hoping the viewers now see the advantage of, just, hey, the cruise lines are great. Contact Karen. She's going to take care of you, and be done with it, and not be afraid of it anymore. And build, she's going to give you the confidence. And she certainly did for me when I talked to her. I was really excited about all the things that she was sharing, especially the products that are coming on board. So, the cruise line's not going to go away. It's only going to get bigger and better. So with the new products coming on board, I can't even imagine what they have available, especially for meetings and events.
And this was the first time we actually had someone representing the cruise industry on the show. So.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And we've been wanting somebody for a couple of years here now. And she was very anxious to tell her story, and the story of the cruise industry as well. And I'm glad we had her, because she knew exactly what she needed to get across. And again, I'm hoping that the confidence is there for everybody to check it out, because boy, there's so many places to go. I mean, if you picked a cruise, where would you want to go, Bruce?
I would probably, if it depends. If it's a mini cruise, I'd probably go to the Bahamas. But if it's like if it's a long cruise, Mexico for sure. I'll definitely go back to Mexico.
Oh, that would be fun.
I don't have to worry about eating peanuts on the plane. I can get some real food.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, the last cruise that, well, not the last cruise, no, actually it was my first cruise. I was 13 years old, took the Princess cruise up to Alaska, and my father took over 400 pictures and not a one came out.
No way.
The lens was broken on the camera. And I think I mentioned that to her. Yeah. And yeah, it taught me that, boy, you got to take a lot more phone cameras now. But I still remember it. I still remember visually wise how beautiful it was and how much fun we had on the cruise. We even actually met our neighbor a couple houses down from us where we lived in Arizona at the time. They were on the same cruise. It was like, we ran into him. It's like, what? Wait a minute. Of all dates, of all times, of all places, here they are on the same cruise.
Here?
It's like, we can't escape from you. You're our neighbor. How's that possible? So that was pretty amazing. But my next cruise, I would like to do a river cruise. I would do a river cruise. Yeah.
Which river?
I don't know. That would be a good question. I'll have to let Karen help me with that, because I know my husband won't take a regular cruise, but a river cruise would be a lot more smoother and smaller. And, so I'd like to talk him into one of those. So
he won't take a regular cruise?
Huh?
He won't take a regular cruise at all? Huh?
He won't take a regular cruise. No, when I cruise with my girlfriends or my family. Yeah.
He's seen too many Viking movies.
In other words, but yeah, he would probably do the river cruise. It's a lot smoother. Yeah.
A lot closer to land.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think you should definitely be married on a cruise. I think we need to talk to Karen about that and report back here on Hospitality Today Live and see how it went. We'd love to see some pictures that worked. In other words,
take a Polaroid camera with me.
Yeah. Exactly. So we'll have to stay in touch with her and stay in touch with you as well. I vote for the cruise for your wedding for sure. At least look into it.
For sure.
Okay, well, we're going to be moving on here. Whew, boy, this has been some day, right, Bruce?
Oh yeah, we are rocking. I told you this is going to be an epic event. They didn't want.
Oh my gosh, it's been so much fun. I'm enjoying talking to each one of these leaders and watching you in the wings here, picking up some major notes and learning along the way as well. And next, we have David Dubois. And David is the president and CEO of IAEE. What is that? That's International Association of Exhibitions and Events. Huge association. Very well needed in the hospitality industry for suppliers and meeting professionals to converse about their products and services. So I'm really excited to talk with him next. And I know you're going to enjoy it as well, Bruce, because we're learning something new and different every day, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Yep. And we certainly are appreciative as, with each one of these episodes to have our official title sponsor, which happens to be Efficient Health Solutions, here with us today. Randy Clark is the broker who has major hospitality background and always willing to assist us as well, because my goodness, Efficient Health Solutions is definitely your preferred health insurance provider for the hospitality industry. EfficientHealthSolutions.com. Stay with us, everyone. David Dubois up next.